All right, today, one amazing subject, how to hit a deadly lob. What I mean by deadly, I'm gonna show you something that I'm sure it has happened to you, especially when you play good level players. Do you recall that day where you were playing and the lob came and you thought, okay, I'm gonna play a bajada after the glass, and suddenly the lob bounces, and you're like, "Ay!" I couldn't do anything. The ball didn't have any pace. It seemed as if the ball had backspin, which maybe it had a little bit. That's why the bounce wasn't like this. Yeah, and that's why you couldn't hit a bajada. Well, that is a fantastic lob, a deadly lob from the opponent. Today, I'm going to show you how to achieve that. Thank you. Yes, no problem. I will show you that. Now, normally you will attempt that lob after a ball from the back glass. Yeah? Why is that? Because if you attempt a deadly lob with a ball that didn't give you rebound, it's too difficult to get under that ball. It's too difficult to slow it down because the ball is pushing you back. But when you wait for that ball that hits the back glass, and then it comes forward, if you let the ball come in front of you with your racket face open, your pancake frying pan grip, and you are able to understand, listen, flicking. The editor will put it with big words. Flicking is this. Yeah? Before I continue, listen clearly. I said flicking. I didn't say slicing. I didn't say cutting. I said flicking. Yes, because the biggest lie a coach can tell you is that the lob needs a slice or side spin. Not from the glass, guys. Not when the ball is in front of you. Okay? How are you going to take the speed away? How are you going to create that rotation on the ball that goes this way? It's not a slice. It's you catching the ball and flicking it. So that way, because the ball is already going in that direction, with your flick, the ball will travel to the other side, but will be slowing down as it travels that way. So it will look something like this. Yeah? Here, I flick. So then the ball, of course, you have to have feeling. You have to regulate the length and the height with your legs and by getting under the ball. But you need to start trusting this motion, because for balls that are fast, or when you get a ball, for example, on the double glass and it's moving forward, you need to flick it. Yes? And in order to flick nicely, remember, if you have a grip that is not a frying pan grip, it's difficult to flick. See, for example, here my wrist doesn't really go. It's stuck. Yeah? But if I change it to the frying pan, then look how easy. And for those that will ask, and for backhand? Well, for backhand, it's symmetrical, so the other way. You flick. Okay? So, to conclude, what you need to do is to make sure that the ball is in front of you. Your foot, make sure that it's not pointing that way, because you are not hitting that way. So your foot needs to be leaning forward. And you are going to use that rebound to flick. Yeah? And then the feeling that they will have many times, it's horrible, because they are forced to play a bandeja from the line, which is very difficult to do. Also, if they take an overhead from this far, you should be happy, because there will be a massive gap in the front that most likely you will be able to use. And then, if they don't want to hit the overhead from this far, hopefully your lob looks something like this, and then they cannot really do much. They cannot really do a bajada. Sometimes also your lob might get to the glass, but it will get something like this. So then, they are so close to the back glass that there is no room for an aggressive bajada. So practice that, flicking, which is slowing down the shots. And if you start using this shot in the games, then you will start playing the tasty way, which is, the biggest phrase we have is, the lob is your biggest weapon. And it is, if your lob is good. Practice this. Bye-bye. So I'm going to give you a reference for forehand and 2 references for backhand. For forehand, remember that after you have the frying pan grip, you open the racket face. Basically, you are showing me this side of the face. Yeah? When you impact the ball, after you impact the ball, I would like to see the other side of the racket. On backhand, it's the same thing. You open the racket face, you have an open racket face, you hit with this side, you show me the other side, and even one more reference on backhand is that your knuckles, after the shot, need to be looking up. Yeah? So when preparing, they are almost up, but for sure when hitting, they are facing up. You can call it the scorpion. On forehand, you can call it a scooping ice cream. Yeah? But make sure that the flicking, you trust it from low to high and a nice use of the wrist. All right, guys, have a tasty day.